Yes, family, welcome back. Before we get the break, I'll be one for telling us, say, one forget a special program today for talk about something very important now we come to country, something where we need for handle very right now. And I want to let you know, see you back can be a part of this program by sending a WhatsApp message to the number 077-520-487 for join me, let we talk this talk. But before we go into what you want for talk about, my name is Pastor Samuel Jones. We want to take a very short break, watch, and when we come back, we go discuss.
This BNTM, we see also one thing where they call kush don boku among young men in the country. This thing don't plenty so much that even the people them where we trust for help for tap this kind thing at the country, self they take them now. Even where we no know waiting at the exact thing where they make this thing so with. But plenty people believe say now one plant where they mix with some chemical there, we not good for motorman body, then they make a with. And this don't bring trouble in the country. We see also plenty video na social media of some young man them we don't take this thing here na the country. They behave this BNTM. Some can sleep na treat, and most time some they end up for cause trouble. This they send signal to we all for take them. People not really know waiting they make a young man ya they take this bad thing. Although some panda youth maya say this kush they help them for forget about them problem and make them feel high. But one thing we clear now that this kush they make we youth man them they lazy, weak and useless na society. But waiting people get for say for sake of this kind problem here na the country. Mercy TV talk to some people them na the country and plenty talk about how not glady but this kind thing here and call on papa government for put on as they say this they make the country not safe.
The use of drugs among the youth them, we the union as a whole, we're not really happy about that because this they cause so much problem in a state. Definitely because taking drugs it tell on the mindset of the individual how it for behave negatively sometimes.
They push here whether they can at this country, let us try cut off them. Kush in general, let them cut off them. Tramadol, let them cut off them. For Canada, this country, Tramadol small 150,000. Where the young man don't go take now for car buy rest now 8,000. If they cry by you like for say he beat them. And Timon mama back. Mama Timon and we do you go take the market. Oh, wake up for castle now. You know they get naughty because we done there for door before you they send a hungry they pan a pass again. Before he die, pass again. But this kush here they spoil you pick them. Now this a lawyer. Tramadol kush.
The security gets a great role for play because if they want set an example, I believe say anybody or they meet, they don't smoke nothing, they sleep and say they hold them, then carry and go show side Ibam. And when he shows side Ibam, I believe say that the tracer one they will get the people there. They know say that then why are they count that dog stay. So all things left to the government and the security forces them for do the work.
This they bring call to Papa government and the authority they way concern for Timap Tranga one before water pass Gary. But the question now that government go able fet this fet where police and soldier man themselves they take her now. So tell Mercy TV they get this answer from the authority them. Me, not Joseph Adumambu the report.
Family, welcome back. We don't watch the reports there. We see lots of videos them of what they happen. Something we're very popular in we nation now, and we don't try to forget authorities concerned for coming up. We discuss them, and I'm sure by tomorrow we'll get authorities concerned for come on board and then we discuss this. But today we want to start the discussion. We want to create the topic so that we all go talk together. And as I say, you can be a part of this discussion by sending a WhatsApp message to the number on the screen 077-520-487 077-520-487. I get with me at the studio a motivational speaker, Mr. Jesse Tucker. Mr. Jesse, say hi to family.
Hello to everybody. Me now, I just love talker as Mr. Pastor Sammy does already.
Okay, and I also get with me at the studio a student of Mass Comm Department at FBC, also the head of the Extreme Band, Mr. John Amara. John, say hi to family.
Family,
Well, we all don't see the video just now. It painful, you know. As Sierra Leonean for let we see them kind of thing there, and you know, as Mercy TV, we want for join the conversation where they go on at the nation for say something need to be done. We need for do something, but then kind of thing there. Mr. Amara, I want for ask you as a young man, you know, where you they see them kind of video there. You know, as a young man with the heart for see, you know, Sierra Leone make inroads in the world. When you see videos like this, when you see, I'm sure you don't see other cases them apart from this. How that did it make you feel?
Well, a heart-rending, as a young person, it is really heart-rending, because we always can say the young people are the future leaders. Now we get for lead the country one day, and if a very large number of young people they involved in activities like this, then it's heart-rending. Then we just imagine how we country here for be like in 10, 20, 30 years from now. Because if we they involved in activities then like this, then when we go able for like come together and put ourselves together, because at the end of the day some of them say then they damage brains, then they damage futures. So it is really heart-rending.
Wow. Again, so I'll ask you this again as a young man in Sierra Leone. Let's look at education. You think say this they help we in educational pursuit in this country?
This not really help with educational pursuits in this country, because even I think even to university students, some of them they take camps, and some university students they take camp, and some people basically they take camp just because of they can say, some man can say on some kind, they want to relax, or some man can be like, you know, this they help me for concentrate. By the end of the day, if you become a drug addict, then I don't think say this they help the educational system.
Wow. Say not sure say this they help with education system. Mr. Jesse, motivational speaker. You know, when you see them kind of thing there, does it motivate you in any way?
No, just as my brother said, it's happening for such thing they go on in the country, and people therefore actually set the pace for the future, for come together and build the future, then actually they destroy themselves today. So waiting tomorrow therefore keep for you, because you tomorrow a result of which you don't do today. And if we get into drugs today, we tomorrow get for be massive corruption. So the thing they will continually they pray against or want for fight against are the same thing we youth and they promote and follow build back again.
Wow, that's a good one. Fambul, I know see yourself done the watch. You know, you must get something we want for say with regards anything there. And so I want for make you take your phone, go on WhatsApp and see the number on your screen. Join we on this discussion. Remember, say as I said, starting tomorrow we get authorities involved for come and let we talk on this. But today we want for just start the conversation going, and with me at the studio I get Mr. Jesse Tucker, who is a motivational speaker, and also get John Amara, who is a student of mass comm department, also head of the Extreme Band. Then they join me for us start the discussion on, you know, on then things the way they happen. Mr. Jesse, so I want for really, you know, let you hammer home certain things then. You know, when you see this kind of thing they happen on the street, what in this they tell you about the future of Sierra Leone if this kind of thing continue?
It tell you about drastic underdevelopment. Because if people they aspire for development in the country, and we have to actually work towards development, but drug abuse, the intake of kush, it don't tell you anything about development. It tell we say, in fact, one for the lesser than we do now. Because, for instance, if we do now 5%, and the youth same way for make a change tomorrow, don't lead to massive drug abuse, the intaking of kush. But I think, say, in the future, we will perhaps 0.2%. So it means we count down instead of making progress. So the youth for land for make a change. And making a change, it starts with the mind. And the kush, as we all know, it affects the mind. So if it affects the mind, we can't make a change if our mind doesn't be set up. So this is now one big problem they face, where they make we, as young people, when they come up, but you know, say the future is challenging. It's challenging.
But let me ask you again. Do you still believe that we can get a better future? I mean, the young people in Sierra Leone still able to get a better future?
Well, everything is possible. So in getting a better future, it means say as at now, we need for make a change. But if we continue with the same pace of kush, there will be no better future. I fully assure you. But if we make a change now, as youth, as leaders. Because you don't expect 50 years old man now for make a change tomorrow. You'll be tired. Bible says Terry, it says serve the Lord in the days of the youth. Why? Because at this stage you get the enthusiasm, you get the zest, you get the strength. But now as youth, if you don't push, but you weaken some strength, you weaken yourself, you weaken your mind the way for think. So there is no way change they come if we continue in this same trend. This trend firstly need for change before we get a change in the future.
Jay, I want to ask you the same question. We know say Kush they, on the rampage, you don't go about, but do you still believe that we can get a better future if we're able to handle this thing now?
Yeah, I do believe we can get a very good future if we can able to handle this thing now. Just like what Jesse they say, your mind is everything. If you mess up your mind, then the future of you self, a day at a very great risk. But we're able for turn around the situation that we country. We're able for make Salone become a better place for living. If we as youth, if you as young people, and take up responsibility and then deviate from this path, deviate from what's happening right now. The truth of the matter is, not everyone will stop taking this drug. Not every young people get what they can. But if we reduce them drastically, we have to put them down, like be able to really reduce the intake of this drug by young people. I think there is a bright future for Salone. But we're not going to get a bright future if we involve in then activity. We just take drugs, we just do all kinds of things where they damage. The thing is, most of the time we focus on I think the future of the country, but I believe the future of the country depend on the future of we as individuals. Because if we the poor young future, then we're not going to be able to make the country future. You have to make yourself first before trying to make the country.
Family, you watch say to Mercy TV. Today we talk about something where they damage the nation. We notice say drug abuse don't so increase. You get tramadol, you get kush, you get pampers. Then they go say they go take granite, then they go say they go take button. There's so many things them where they go on, and we see say it don't affect the nation a lot. And so we want to start a discussion around that thing there, and see how we self in we own way go up. So remember, say you self can be a part of the discussion by sending a WhatsApp message to the number on the screen 077520487. That is 077520487. Let we all discuss around this thing. I also get with me on the line the CEO of Mercy TV, Reverend Julian Ojes. He don't join me on the line. He's burdened about this thing, and he want for let we all discuss some. Reverend, say hi to family. Reverend, you self watch the video where we play at the start of this discussion. As a father, you get picking them, not just biological children. You get a lot of young people looking up to you as a father. When you see such videos of young people, how then did they make you feel?
Gutted. Where would man say I feel gutted? It means completely messed internally. Your heart is broken. Sierra Leone, such a beautiful country, and if not corruption, then it will be the poor people that will go suffer as a result of narcotics and drug abuse. Sex, prostitutes, and all of these things. So these are the times we don't need these things, and it is very, very heart rendering to you for see people them that we your country to map na state completely oblivious to who that them be under the influence of such a dreadful, harmful drug. And I take the leaf of the one of the speakers then at the video clip we say for not with the intention for punish the drug addicts to that extent, but more so for look at rehabilitate them. And the rehabilitation starts with number one, for let them identify the seller. They have to identify the seller. the person that sold the drugs to them must be identified. Once that person has been identified, the police therefore make every measure, every proactive move, apprehend that seller, the dealer. That's where it starts. Go to the source of the problem and in the board. Arrest the one that we did do there. Then we go begin for get to some form of normalcy. We now come to rehabilitation because it's not, you see, addiction, not a thing where they just left the body. Nothing where it take time before it left the body. So we get for effort for rehabilitate them. And even if the state have to foot that bill, so be it, because the human capital development agenda way the government want to achieve can be easily undermined by these kind of pandemic, human self-created pandemics we don't cause for ourselves. Imagine somebody, innocent person, somebody in mama, somebody in papa, somebody in granny, somebody in grandpa, he goes sit down on top motorbike where the person where they ride this bike under the influence of kush. Imagine what thing will happen. That will a catastrophic end. So it is very important that we try very hard and work with one another, all the agencies, hands on deck, starting with the Ministry of Interior, the social services, the civil service, civil society rather, all the agencies, we all forget this is a national security emergency. And if this is not dealt with, like how we can deal with the likes of Ebola, the likes of COVID-19, we then find out, say, there is an infected person here, how they for treat this situation, and this is how they for treat this kush situation for be a medical emergency. And we they appeal to all major donor funding agencies, let them come on board. And would like to advise, they do so now, we do it. Well, I'd like to advise the government for making a priority for media sensitization, for go around all aspects of life. Let the media take the front row for disseminate informations the way pertinent to curbing this drug addiction and this drug abuse. So we, the media, we get a role for play for tell people the harmful effects of drugs and the after effects, the side effects, the after effects, and the consequences of taking that kind harmful drugs they are. So if you not stop, what will happen to you? And at the end of the day, now you liver now you go fry up, now you go suffer, now your lungs then go collapse, now your internal organs then go suffer the consequences, and life might be lost along the way if you continue to take excessive drugs like this. It completely paralyze your entire system and make you immobilized and abnormal. You're not able to do anything whatsoever. Look at that situation where a taxi driver collapsed right inside the motor car. He not know himself. He not even know what they do. And he was actually of the person where meet and they will record that. So we have a duty of care. And look at that. You see, what is if somebody before, anybody who want to do bad can easily do bad to person with under the influence of kush. And we pray that it not come to that. So this is an emergency. As much as the country don't develop, there is a lot of infrastructural development, electricity. The government of the day, they do very well for enhance the electricity distribution process and all of these things. These are all good things, the developments that they take place. But now don't come another undermining aspect of all the good things the way the administration they do, if they not concentrate on dealing with the ills of the society, it not go bode well and not go come out fine. So my own appeal is that we for put hands on it. As a father, I am gutted. I am disturbed. Um, Drugs or any form of substance abuse is not something I go want all my spiritual picking them, and my own relatives them, and my own personal biological children. None of them not supposed for take them kind here. So it's really heart-rending to see people under the influence, and this is not just children, young people. This cuts across the elderly people taking these drugs. I mean, then guy them when they dismissed the army, they are not kids. They could be in their 40s or 50s, in fact. So the appeal from my own perspective, the appeal to all Sierronians, let we abstain from taking any form of substance abuse, not only the kush, the other drugs them where they float around. Let we completely shy away from them. And not the born good picking, not good. So that is something that this is something we cannot joke with. We cannot even pretend it's not. It's already happening, and it don't create embarrassment for we as a country, as a people. So we need for deal with them. Although this is a pandemic that is all over the world, England got them, America them, you get sat inside and where they go na UK. Now so junkies then they they are like zombies. They lead on drugs. They sleep with drugs. They wake with drugs. But then get money, then get the infrastructure for deal with them medically. Then get rehabs them all over where they can take person care and go there no get for pay anything. They get enough money for fund the activities of them clinics. Then they Sierra Leone, we already dealing with financial difficulties and challenges. So we really can't afford to allow this thing to get out of control. We now need to nip it in the bud and really handle them before the situation get out of control.
Of Mercy TV, Reverend Julian Ujaskan, himself they rub mouth on this issue. Yeah, this issue of drug abuse done so huge, and Reverend can say as a father, as a mentor, they continue for rub mouth on this issue. All see Yusuf can join in the discussion by sending a WhatsApp message to the number on the screen 0775204871. Say Reverend, thank you very much, and continue for stay with me as we continue this discussion. I also get with me Jesse Tucker, who is a motivational speaker, and I also get John Amara, when a mass comm student of FBC, and we did continue for this talk. Mr. Jesse, you don't hear a lot where Reverend don't say as a daddy, there is so much of what he don't say, and you don't see the videos them, and you don't start with saying how much damage it will cause to the nation. I want for let flip the discussion small. What can we do as a nation for change that kind of video there?
Wow, it's deeper than it seems. So, as a nation, firstly, we come together, we be united in it, and we evolve into sensitization, because sensitization is key. That is, people will know the effects of kush. I believe why most people enter into the kush, and because perhaps they say advantageous, because some man they say we are smoker, they feel high, and they get a peace of mind. So then they say advantageous. But if we come together, the government, to be precise, people who are in charge of drug abuse in the country, then come together to therefore do massive sensitization to different places, especially to youth, tell them about the effects of drug abuse, and they will help a lot. Another thing again, we need for therefore make the youth understand the power of idleness, because many a times idleness get power for destroy youth, and these are some of the things that they make them into push. Despite there are some people where they get job, like we see the taxi driver, we also see the bike riders, we see the police officer and the military man, they're involved into this, yes, they get job. But at the same time, you get to understand, say, you are the job. how you make yourself, that's so you get what be taken in the society. So like if they understand say then at the job, I believe say that they take themselves as a priority for making themselves be at a safer side and for let them be the change. Because if then they into the elastic idleness just as they see. Because you can be job but you still idle in your mind. You can get job, you still idle in your mind. So that they make you need a thing for do. The only thing when they come up in your mind, push or whatsoever the work abuse for come up, what you think say go satisfy yourself. So as a nation, we need for do a lot of talking, sensitization to people out there so that they will understand the effects of drug abuse. And with that, development will continually speak forth now we country.
Okay, then the voice of Jesse Tucker. John, I want to ask you the same question. What can we do? Usa we go start? How, for, we want to change these kind of things when they happen. What we go do? Usa we go start?
Well, firstly, I think I'm in line with Jesse. We have to tell people within this tier, within at the cost of the tier to the future, to even their lives, yeah. Because if somebody know, most of the people they take kush, I will tell you that they're not basically know waiting. But cool people right now they take kush are first timers. I will tell you that for free.
Okay.
But cool people they take kush are first timers. Most of the people there are people who they take kush where really know they did this way. I will tell you that for free. Yeah. But most of the people now they take now first timers, and it's because they've been sensitized by the wrong people. Now the young people don't tell them say this year we take you they feel high, you they feel like you didn't have some kind galaxy, you did someplace else. And the truth of the matter is we get people we really idle and they just want to try something. For them it's a job, by the way. Now walk down they then just want to feel like I'm doing something, and then when they go high and later when they see the videos, I will tell you they'll be laughing at themselves. They'll be like, look at me, now me they make so. But if we do massive sensitization about waiting this tier, waiting a push, and I think we should go as far as actually like I think there are people, and by God's grace, like you said, we have the authorities. We need to forget people where they explain the process of making this drug. Because sometimes they take drugs that we not even know what they make them with. Some people, I don't meet an example would be some people know they buy pillow not it. Some people know they buy stitch pillow because then some people understand how they make them. Some people know say now them at cars they don't go to win a dirty box, then they go take them cut, then put it inside, find something and then put it. Because of them gets that knowledge they make them know they buy them. Because then they feel like this tier not to hygiene. Not hygienic for make I use them na me bed. But we a lot of young people don't know, and a lot of people just like I will even say, not just young people, don't know waiting involved in making this this is a chemical substance. And some of the things that they make are things that were really dangerous to the human body. And so if we do massive sensitization about how this tier they affect the brain, how then they make them, waiting at the things that they use for make them, waiting it could do in future, it could lead us the worst thing that could happen to you is death, and then they go happen, because if you mind that weak and if you get some people basically get sickness we don't even know, and if you take kush and then it's that in there, and then all of the day you spend lots and lots of money just for like cure one thing where you don't prevent them. So if we able forget if we able get people and authorities for sensitize the people of Sierra Leone, tell them say okay, this na the effects, this na why you not fine for take kush, this na why you're not supposed to take kush, this na why you're not supposed to take any drug whatsoever where they make you feel like how they feel. Because at the end of the day, they really damage the future of this country. Because if a police officer, someone who should be some kind, somebody where the community, the society they look up to for law and order, somebody where you're not supposed to forget blemish when it comes to the NTR. If we see them in videos, some people be like, Igbo, if policeman they take why me not take him? If soldier man we don't take him, why I not take him? So if we're able to combat all in there, like I said before, I don't think say it would drop drastically to 0.00% of people who take kush now, but we can able for like sensitize people, and then I think Reverend make a very good suggestion. One of the way we go able to stop this is finding the source. Every drug addict gets a dealer. Every drug addict gets a dealer. So if we will find the source there outside with the sell, kush is mass produced. And if it's mass produced, I'll just say, I will use this analogy and tell you, say, that means there are some people where they're in high places, where they allow this to happen. And so we need for go now then place then the usai then tia then they tolerate them. Usai then tia then they look there and say, okay, we they make money out of them, so we'll just let them slide. So we need for find them drug dealer there, and then people there will deal in drugs, then people there will sell the kush. And not just the one they win at the dealers, then we need for find the actual plugs them. The people that they bring come then here, the people that they manufacture and the chemists them, the people that they mix them here. So if we will find them here, like look at this. A young person, a young man, they go through some of them in there. They don't take this. A taxi driver, imagine somebody take this taxi. So we need to find the source. We need to go back to that source and root out the problem.
Family, if you just join you watch Say to Mercy TV. Today we talk on the drug abuse. We don't bokuna salon because you know they see them every day na one corner, every day na one area. It don't so boku. We want to take short break because we want to play the video there for you back. When we come after the short break, we go talk more on solutions.
This BNTM, we see also one thing where they call kush don boku among young men in the country. This thing don't plenty so much that even the people them where we trust for help for tap this kind thing at the country, self they take them now. Even where we no know waiting at the exact thing where they make this thing so with. But plenty people believe say now one plant where they mix with some chemical there, we not good for motorman body, then they make a with. And this don't bring trouble in the country. We see also plenty video na social media of some young man them we don't take this thing here na the country. They behave this BNTM, some can sleep na treat, and most time some they end up for cause trouble. This they send signal to we all for take them. People not really know waiting they make a young man ya they take this bad thing. Although some panda youth maya say this kush they help them for forget about them problem and make them feel high. But one thing we clear now that this kush they make we youth man them they lazy, weak and useless na society. But waiting people get for sake of this kind of problem here in the country. Mercy TV talk to some people them na the country and plenty talk about how not glad but this kind thing here and call on papa government for put on as they say this they make the country not safe.
The use of drugs among the youth them, we the union as a whole, we're not really happy about that because this they cause so much problem na a state definitely because taking drugs it tell on the mindset of the individual how it for behave negatively sometimes.
They push here where they can at this country, let us try cut off them. Kush in general, let them cut off them. Tramadol, let them cut off them. For Canada, this country, Tramadol small 150,000. Where be a young man don't go take now for buy rest now 8,000. If they cry by you like for say he beat them. And 3 months mama back. Mama 3 months I will do you go take na market. Oh, wake up for castle now. You know they get naughty because whether they for door before you they say na hungry they pana pass again. Before he die, pass again. But this kush here they spoil you picky them. Now this aloya Tramadol kush.
The security gets a great role for play because if they want set an example, I believe say anybody who they meet, they don't smoke nothing, they sleep and say they hold them, then carry and go show side Ibam. And when he shows side Ibam, I believe say that the trace that one they will get the people there. They know say that then why are they count that dog still. So all things left to the government and the security forces them for do the work.
This they bring call to Papa government and the authority they way concern for team up Tranga one before water pass Gary. But the question now that government go able fet this fet where police and soldier man themselves they take her now. So tell Mercy TV they get this answer from the authority them. Me, not Joseph Adumambu the report.
Fambu, welcome back. This is Nasir to Mercy TV, and today we will talk about something we they disturb the country: drug abuse, tramadol, kush, pampas, granate, call it anyhow you want for call them, button. But they destroy the country, and I get with me at the studio Jesse Tucker, we a motivational speaker. I also get John Amara, a student of mass communication department FBC, and I get the CEO of Mercy TV on the line from London, Reverend Khan, and we talk about this disturbing thing where they happen in Sierra Leone. Remember, say yourself can be a part of this discussion by sending a WhatsApp message to the number on your screen: 077-520-487, 077-520-487. You know, as we talk about this talk, you know, before I go to Reverend, you're a young man and you're in the church. I want to ask this question.
Yeah.
What's in the church? What in the church need for do? The church gets a role for playing this.
Of course. The church get a role for playing this, yeah. One of the things I think I had a discussion, I don't get series of discussions then with Reverend Julian Khan, and one of the things we are passionate about is the evangelism, and evangelism not just in the form of going to people and talking to them and telling them that if you do this you get for go hell, so better you stop for them. One of the things that we I think say they don't talk about we're very good is making them people, some of them people here, I think then they feel like then they outside of God in grace and mercy. So, and most I will tell you that hyper religious people don't make then they feel that way they seriously, and the church get a role for play, as in we no need for condemning people here. We no need for tell they already know something they do is not actually right. So you do not need to tell them that. What you need to do is make them understand that this is bad for their health, and also Jesus loved them so much that Jesus no wants for letting them do things here. And then show them love. One of the things that everyone say is go to these people, give them something, food, clothes. If there's any way and if there's a lot of support from the church in itself, we try to find a particular place where these people will be sheltered. Because some people just not at it. Some people just sit down at it. And not mindfully gets dying 2, 3, 4, 5,000 euros per day and then just go smoke kush. Then they give them some kind of fulfillment and they feel fulfilled. So the church gets a very big role for play. And we as I will not just say big men of God and pastors. Now we see so many young people really involved in church activities. And I will tell you that some of these young people are so enthusiastic that then they feel like if waiting and do you not do you actually not there in God in favor and in mercy. So if we as young people able for embrace, because I will tell you that we when our young people we able to project ourselves more to them. We able for project ourselves more, we able to talk to them more. When big man they talk to small picking, they look and say, big man after all that there's a massive some kind big gap of age between we. But if me, someone in his 20s, they talk to another person in his 20s, it'd be like, okay, this is a young person, I think they get something for say. And we as young people within the church. So the best thing we can do is get to them people here, talk to them, go on the streets and talk to them, make them feel loved, invite them. Try for help them in whatever way we can. So the church has a massive role to play, and that role they involve in getting them understand that Jesus loves them and not make them feel like they get for, well, this the way they do so, it's bad and so you get for go hell if you don't stop them. No, they don't need for you either. They already know. At some point, every other person in this country at some point religious. You just probably know they take them as serious as some other person they take them. But we all, one way or the other, most Sierra is a religious country. So one way or the other, religion don't say, you say, if you not do this, you go heaven, you go hell. But Jesus not come for can condemn me. He come for can give you life. He come for can give you hope, strength. And I think we need to project that hope, that love, that strength to the youth, to the people of this country who are involved in some of the activities there.
Thank you very much. Jesse, I want to ask you the same question. The church get a role for play in this?
Sure. Just as Brother Jesse, the church get very important role for playing this. But the first thing the church get for do, members from the church in order for make them perfect and make the others feel imperfect. Because just as brother said, Jesus not come for condemn people. And they say in the word, John 3:17, so for God sent not his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. So the essence of Christ now the world for that the world will be saved. So as Christians, as replicas of Christ, what do we for do? We for condemn these people or for welcome these people? Welcome them as them they, as kush takers, as drug abusers, welcome them so. Let them come, let them feel welcome, let them feel at home. That is where the first step we have to do as Christians. Because we can't say we are Christian with the condemn people. You they take kush, no can hear me. You did this, no can hear me. You did this, no can hear me. No. We have to accept these people as them they and sensitize them about the things of God. Just as you say one key important thing about Mbolaji, you say they know that they say they are kush takers. Let them understand the effects of this kush to them. Understanding and know is two different things. They know say kush with the taker. Perhaps their understanding about kush is nice. It make her feel high. They make her sound like in America. That is it. Now let them understand that it is harmful. It is harmful. And that the church get for helping that. The church get for helping that. We got to come to the people, let us say people of the world or secular people. Let us say people who can do unusual things. Because considering if me like an high personality, I bring forth an hesitation between me and the school takers. Who's how they know can they? Yes. But Christians, we're not supposed to be like that. So the church need for welcome they ask them they. Because Jesus welcomed the sinners and not push them away. Likewise we never push them away. We for welcome them as they because nobody is perfect. Welcoming their school takers, I believe that they help them to understand say this man only take kush by welcome me so it's not a reason for that make a change.
Thank you very much, Jesse. I want to read few messages and we come inside. This one say Mercy TV and a fine program when I don't start so it come out from Pato. Another one say this kush thing at this country don't turn like bone at root. By the way, I like the report for this kush talk here. Well done, Mr. Reporter. Government for Tinap before thing come out bad now we and it come out from Sama na IMAT. Another person say government have to put things in place for this to stop. Another one say one solution to this problem is that government should implement Operation Stop Taking Kush. Anyone they catch in the influence of Kush should be taken to prison for at least 1 year. Another one say, to my opinion, some higher personnel are responsible to bring in this Kush because they are not able to give job opportunities to the youth. They give them Kush. Wow. Continue for sending your message. Yusuf can be a part of the program by sending a message to 0775204887. WhatsApp message to 0775204887. We still get Reverend Khan on the line. Reverend, I want to put this question to you. You are a pastor. That's why I want to ask you, Reverend, what can the church do for help out in a situation like this?
Aspect of contributing towards the sanctity of the nation, because the Bible says righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to a people. So the church get the moral responsibility as much as the church get the spiritual responsibility for try for come in. But also, having said that, the state need for work hand in hand with the church, so that the church go able for be capacitated into implementing then moral values there. So the pulpit preaching is one, but also there has to be a practical approach way for make elders that are the church or workers that are the church be able for work with the other state actors for join hand all together and go around and sensitize we communities them. So it's not going to be confined to the pulpit because not to everybody they go to church. Most people not they go church, while others they go church. So The one that will not go church, you can still move the church to them so that you can able for minister to them whosoever they day. And again, that's one area where Massive TV can come in. And if the state actors them and donors them able for help for support, we able for expand then sensitizations they also through we broadcast and make them a program for sensitize people them for transform and conscientize them in a manner in which go make them understand the harmful effect of taking these drugs. It is not advisable to incarcerate the addicts them. But it is advisable to put them in a secure place whereby they will be detoxicated. But for use them as a yardstick for punish them will be counterproductive, because why then they now the sell day you still go get unscrupulous others, then we go to sell the drugs then to them. But if we concentrate on trying to detox them, then you'll be able to cut off the head of the snake and stop this thing from happening to them. And then some of the one that we don't go through rehabs, they don't the system don't do away with the drugs. Then self can become role models them for go around and conscientize others for say not do this, so way I be take these drugs and this happened to me, so you self not take up because I know what will happen to me, let it happen to you. So I believe say we for do some holistic approach towards it with a view to transforming the lives of the individual rather than punishing the individual in the manner in which we can normally want for do back home. So it is important that the three-tier is being done. And number one, the church for come on board, preach them on the pulpit, make it a whole kind of sector of workload where for be part of the church in your implementation of service delivery to the, so that then one day when they walking at the church for come out of the comfort zone of the church and take the church to the people. Then are the second tier. The third tier now rehabilitation. Locate the dealers them, arrest the dealers them. Now the dealers them for go jail. Now them for be incarcerated. The one them way now the victims them. Then for be put into rehabs. Which I then securely they in a place where the drug for come out from the system, and we the church also for take advantage of that and go ask if they need spiritual guide, spiritual help, if they need deliverance, and then we minister deliverance to them and we pray for them. So I think that the three-tier approach, and that way we can able to work together as a team. You know, together we can destroy the effect of this menace, this drug addiction, and all of the effects, the side effects it come with. So I believe say that should be our approach, and we should not be quick to cast blames, but we should be quick to look at the effective ways and means for trying to curb this thing before it get out of control, especially when there are law enforcers involved, some members of the law enforcement agencies them involved. So it's like you send somebody for go stop corruption instead of go get corrupted. So we now need the church. This is the time the church is needed the most, based on we conviction, with spiritual conviction, and with moral stance. I believe say we can able to come in and help the police them. There is something called police partnership. So we can able for sign that MOU with the police them and work with the police them. We are willing and obedient as children of God to always do what's right in the eyes of God. So we can play a role and go there mindful of the health hazards as well, with some protective gears them, because you just go minister to somebody you don't know, what that person infected with. So in as much as we covered with the blood of Jesus, we for all that wisdom for apply sensible approach towards the situation. I think say that Namio take on this.
But Reverend, before you go, I want to ask you one more question. Very soon next year, we dey go towards elections. We dey get elections next year. How important is it for let we tackle this issue one term before elections?
Well, I can't really re-emphasize it more than I've already done. It is extremely important. I don't talk, say, first of all, in my last speech, I said this is a national security emergency. And when you say something a national security emergency, it means it is very highly important. It then at the top agenda of priority. So we need to do this, because if we not do this, we will end up for go into where the people and the very security apparatus wait for for secure life and property. Some of them will be intoxicated with these drugs because we did not handle it, we did not tackle it at the source where we're supposed to have dealt with it. So it is an emergency, and in order for let we not descend as a nation, let we not descend into chaos, we make up a national emergency priority for let even if it causes us to ask for external help, we need to do so that we for remove any obstacle we will create problem obstruction for the upcoming election. You see, we cannot afford to stall the election. Neither can we afford to have an election that is mirrored or smeared with all kinds of problems like this. This is embarrassing. And it is not something that we are human beings. These people are not acting as human beings when they are under the influence. They act like animals when they are under the influence. And that is not the will of God for we. Look at this other clip where this is a military officer. How can a military officer wearing with uniform, with national military uniform, they disgrace the country in this manner? It is absurd, it is repugnant, and it is unacceptable. We as a nation, we supposed to do this, and it is incumbent upon us for we to act in we own best interest and solve this problem. It can hurt me, Sierra way people in the film then kind problem there, then they laugh. They say black man sorry and I laugh. Why should we always be happy to see bad things happen to us? Why we always want for you read the bad news, but we don't want you read the good news? Why we always want to see we own country they go backwards rather than forward? I think the time don't come for let we get we self together and put on we conscious caps them and say enough is enough. We are a respectable nation, and we should act responsibly in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you very much. That has been the voice of Reverend Mercy TV. Instead the Robert Pandis talk, another message we can say, hello Mercy TV. I like this program, and we want for we stop this harmful drug. Please, wanna help this young generation, and also this is a national issue where una for involve all other people, them, not just the Christians, because this not a one man fight, not all man fight. Another one say we don't understand, say the drug dealers then they mix them with tramadol now. This other one say from Peter Jr. He say the government for put a stop to all the one them where they bring them come na this country. Feel free for continuing for sending your message, even though we don't come towards the end. We've been on the talk about this drug abuse issue, the kush issue, And as I've been saying, they get the Master Sabi people concerning the things therefore come, starting tomorrow. But for now, we want to start the discussion. So today, I've been get with me in the studio, Mr. Jesse Tucker, motivational speaker, Mr. John Amara, a mass comm student of FBC, and also on the line, I've been get the CEO of Mercy TV, Reverend Julian Khan. Mr. Jesse, we don't come towards the end now. What will be your closing message to young people out there?
Well, to young people out there, firstly, we get for try to make a change. And in making a change, you start with mind, just as we start with your mind. So if we destroy the mind today, I want for be the change tomorrow. So don't make up your mind for abstain from whatever drug abuse, whatever thing where they destroy with future, they destroy with mindset, they destroy what you want for we safe. We for abstain from it, such as the kush as an instance. So as young people, we have to understand, say, as now we get the strength, the enthusiasm and everything. So we got to come together and be the change we want for seeing at the country, not to just for the cast blame on politicians and so. So we just work for come together and be the change we want for see with a straight mind and with a restored mind, not with a mind of kush or a mind of drug abuse.
Thank you very much. That'll be Mr. Jesse Tucker. Yes, Mr. Amara, what will be your closing remarks?
Well, I just want to say, we as young people need to take responsibility for waiting they happen right now. And in as much as we go blame a lot of people, point fingers and all, but we also need to be responsible for waiting they happen because it affects really more. And I will tell you that a lot of the big one, them go on ladies they have been. For somebody who gets a contrary view, but I will tell you that lots and lots of people, because the youths now we know the future leaders, them, now we get tomorrow, and we want for this country go before. So please, let me stop this activity and let me be fruitful. Let me try to get something. Sometimes we don't need for the government come and give you a job. And as much as some of we don't done college, we don't graduate, and it's frustrating that we get job. But let me try to get something going. Let me try to get something doing. And I believe say God must come through. God know the fail. God know whoever fail we. Yeah. So I appeal to we, let me take responsibility and let me try to stop this activity. Let me try to be the young people we could change this country for the better.
Thank you very much, Fambul. Awale, see you've been only watch a discussion where we get on the issue of drug abuse, kush, tramadol, and all the others. Then we don't discuss, but and we show a lot of videos of people where this thing they make them behave in embarrassing fashions. If you want for see them videos and then watch this episode again, you can tune in again at net 9 o'clock. We get a repeat of this broadcast. But also we don't share with social media handles to people because we get a challenge where we want to challenge people we want to say we share with social media handles them for you subscribe and like. And so on Facebook and Twitter with social media handle for Facebook and Twitter now Mercy TV channel 29, Mercy TV channel 29. That's Facebook and Twitter with Facebook page and Twitter. I'm going like the Facebook page. On YouTube, you go subscribe to our YouTube channel on Mercy TV Radio. One word, Mercy TV Radio. But you can also get on our website www.mercytvradio.live, and also you can watch Mercy TV on Medosat channel 29. Continue for join we. So till we meet again, me and Pastor Samuel Johnson, and I always can say God bless you and God bless Sierra Leone.
Thing where they call push don't go put among young man in the country. This thing don't plenty so much that even the people them where we trust for help for tap this kind thing at the country self they take them now. Even where we no know waiting at the exact thing where they make this thing so with. But plenty people believe say now one plant where they mix with some chemical there we not good for motorman body then they make a with, and this don't bring trouble at the country. We see also plenty video na social media of some young man them we don't take this thing here na the country they behave this behind them. Some can sleep na treat, and most time some they end up for cause trouble. This dey send signal to we all for take them. People not really know wetin they make get young man ya they take this bad thing. Although some pande youth man ya say this kush they help them for forget but them problem and make them feel high. But one thing we clear now that this thing wey dem call kush don boku among young man in the country. This thing don plenty so much that even the people dem wey we trust for help for tap this kind thing at the country sef dey take am now. Even where we no know wetin na the exact thing wey dem dey make this thing so with, but plenty people believe say na one plant wey dem dey mix with some chemical there wey no good for mortal man body dem dey make am with, and this don bring trouble na the country. We see outside plenty video na social media of some young man dem wey don take this thing here na the country dey behave this BNTM. Some can sleep na treat, and most time some dey end up for sleep na treat, and most time some dey end up for cause trouble. This dey send signal to we all for take time. People no really know wetin dey make that young man here dey take this bad thing. Although some pandai youth man here say this kush dey help them for forget but them problem and make them feel high, but one thing wey clear na that this kush dey make we youth man them dey lazy, weak and useless na society. But wetin people get for say for sake of this kind problem here na the country, Mercy TV talk to some people them na the country and plenty talk about how not glady but this kind thing here and call on papa government for put hand as them say this dey make the country not safe.
The use of drugs among the youth them, we the union as a whole, we're not really happy about that, because this they cause so much problem na a state, definitely, because taking drugs it tell on the mindset of the individual how it for behave negatively sometimes.
They push here where they can at this country, let us try cut off them. Kush in general, let them cut off them. Tramadol, let them cut off them. For Canada, this country, Tramadol small 150,000. Where be a young man don't go take now for buy rest now 8,000. If they cry by you like for say he beat them. And Timona mama back. Mama Timona we do okay, go take na market. Oh, wake up for castle now. You know they get naughty because we done there for door before you they say na hungry they pana pass again. Before he die, pass again. But this kush here they spoil you picky them. Now this a lawyer. Tramadol kush.
The security gets a great role for play, because if they want set an example, I believe say anybody or they meet, they don't smoke that till they sleep and say they hold them, then carry and go show side Ibam. And when he shows side Ibam, I believe say that the trace that one they will get at people there. They know say that then why are the cow that dog sleep. So all things left to the government and the security forces them for do the work.
This they bring call to papa government and the authority they way concern for Timap Tranga one before water pass Gary. But the question now that government go able fet this fet where police and soldier man themselves they take her now. So tell Mercy TV they get this answer from the authority them. Me, not Joseph Adumambu the report.